just fine.
No offense to you, don't waste your time. Here's why. Because I'm happy. Clap along.
That's right.
If you feel like a
First, I give thanks for the creative source of this universe, and I give thanks to my mother, Shirley Hardy, the elder in my life. Thank you for joining with us and sharing with us your conscious self-health care story. We are moving from disease care to conscious self-health care. Family, community, and friends, it is okay to honor yourself, love yourself, put yourself first, use your voice to do something different. Health starts with being happy, and those who are happy are much, much healthier. Yes, thank you so very much for vibrating with us and tuning into the frequency of happiness. Health is all about consciousness, and healing is a function of consciousness. Greetings to you all in love and kindness. Thank you for tuning in via the internet. The conference line will be back up next week, and we thank you for sharing the good news from this show with your family and friends. You are tuned in to Heart2Heart Healthy Living with Dr. K on the airways of Inner Light Radio, the healing frequency. This is a live broadcast you are listening to, and you can email your questions or comments to innerlightradio@yahoo.com. innerlightradio@yahoo.com. You can Facebook Brother Jamal with questions or comments. You can call in and share. The call-in line will be open at 6:45. That number is 310-928-7733. 310-928-7733. Now, we do ask that you mute your phone. You are entering a live chat room, and I would invite you to join the conversation by your phone number or your Skype name. So welcome to the Conscious Wellness Checkpoint. It just may be a choice point for you. Now it's time to check the pulse of your thoughts, your consciousness, and your actions. My regular friend joining me in the chat room is Wanda K. Whitaker, anchored in Spirit, Pacifica, California. Rachel is traveling. She may call in. She's regular in the chat room in Temple Hills, Maryland. And once again, I'm Dr. Karen Khadija Davis-Foulks, broadcasting live from Washington, D.C. Tonight's conversation, NES Health, pioneering the revolutionary science and system for total wellness in healthcare. Our guest is Cyril Bourke, NES Health Chief Wellness Officer. The truth of the matter is, life is consciousness, and we are assisting each other with information so that we can make conscious self-health care moves when making a choice. That's mental observation view is essential for success. So take out your pen and paper. Now it's time to rewrite your very own personal prescription for better health care. Thank you so much for tuning in to our regular time slot. Now, 6 p.m. Very soon we'll be broadcasting live in Washington, D.C. on WOOKLP 103.1 FM. And we'll be so excited when we are able to simulcast live where I'm at live in Washington, D.C. We're going to take a station break, and we're going to come back and start the conversation. Thank you for tuning in.
Come join us as Dr. Karen Davis-Foulks and hypnotherapist Wanda K. Whitaker hosts the free global community conference called It's Not What It Looks Like, Your Challenges Are Your Gifts, inspired by the book by the world-renowned channeler for light energy John Christopher Jamila A. Shabazz, every first, second, and third Monday of the month, 5 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Central, and 8 p.m. Eastern Time. For more information, visit www.consciousselfcare.com, where the letter S connects conscious and self. The exclusive call-in number is 712-432-1212, meeting ID number 738-982-625. Again, 712-432-1212, ID number 738-982-625. Join our Facebook group, Target Love, as we look forward to talking with you on Monday.
Yes, we are so excited about the conference call that we have. It's not what it looks like. Working with the book is not what it looks like. Your challenges are your gifts. It's a great opportunity to look at challenges as gifts and shift your energy. Wanda, how you doing today?
Karen, thank you for asking. I am doing fantastic, and I just can't wait to hear more about NES Healthcare System.
Yeah, I'm really excited. You know, we have had Joan Wilcox and Randy on the show several times, but now Ness has really reached full potential and the journey that Harry Massey had for this company. We're here now, and I'm so excited that Cyril is here to join us because for the past 9 years, people like, Dr. K, what do you really do? We know you are a lenthologist. We know you teach cellular ecology. We know you have a colon hydrotherapy center, but this Ness information where we're really trying to figure it out. You know, you say it's an encompassance of everything, and I'm not scientific. I'm very simplistic. I give simplistic answers, but a lot of time people need to have that scientific, technical side weaved into it so they can fully understand. And that's why I'm so thankful for the relationship that I have had and is having with Ness over the past 9 years. And the trainers have always been wonderful, started with Randy and then dealing with Bruce. And now we're here with Cyril, and we're just so excited to explore total wellness. Because, you know, my perspective on everybody knows is we got to let go of disease thinking because we are well beings. So let's learn how to keep our bodies well and not focus on correcting the disease.
Well, not only that, Karen, I think what NES is truly about is the information field. And not that many people know about the information field and go as deeply as NES has taken people. So, yeah, that's quite exciting.
You're right, because when I say I'm an informational healthcare, they say we know about energetic, we know about energy medicine. It's very much a part of that. And so NES is very pioneering in what they have done through the work of Peter Frazier, whom I love so dearly. And so we're going to bring on Cyril. We're going to let him share with us his journey, how he became NES Chief Wellness Officer, and where we are now, how the community as a whole can embrace self-care and really understand when we say know thyself, can take care of thyself, honor that stuff. We now have an opportunity and a way to embrace that feeling. I say NES brings the invisible visible, and we all are conscious beings, and we know this. And so now we have a healthcare system that can read our human body field in a manner that we can do right in our own home if we so choose to. So our guest today is Cyril Bourke, NES Health Chief Wellness Officer, providing clinical support and practitioner education in the use of NES Health Provision Human Body Field Scanning System, application of Infoceutical remedies, and biofeedback therapy with the NES miHealth device. Just a brief history, and then I will bring Cyril in to share more. He had no interest in healthcare until his own health failed as a result of an industrial injury while working as an engineer in the oil industry. His health slowly declined year after year while being treated with extremely expensive pharmaceutical drugs until one day he stumbled across biofeedback, and in 3 minutes his life dramatically changed forever. And that was when he decided to dedicate his energy and skills into bringing this type of amazing technology to the public. He spent over 6 years in full-time clinical practice, and this year he joined the NES Health, now present, to take the global technology around the world. Cyril Bourke, my friend, welcome to Heart2Heart Healthy Living.
Hello, Dr. K. Thank you so much for that entry. Yeah, that's fantastic. And you're absolutely right. I literally had no interest in healthcare. I was just the same as almost all of the nation. I had no interest. If it didn't directly involve me, I wasn't thinking about it. I was unconscious, as you were talking earlier. Absolutely, I was unconscious to everything. But I had an injury where my fingers were guillotined in one hand, and they were reconstructed, and I just accepted the traditional view of, okay, they're white, they're painful, they're rigid, they'll never be any good again. And I just put up with them. And at the same time, other things started deteriorating in my body. I went down with digestive problems. I started to get ulcerative colitis. I started to have rectal bleeding. I was taking huge amounts of very expensive drugs. And my gastroenterologist literally just said, keep taking the drugs until you get cancer, basically, and then we'll cut it out. And that was his plan. He had no other plan involved, and it was ridiculous. It was quite ridiculous. Mm-hmm. And I, through a series of strange events, about 11 years after the accident, I was introduced to a gentleman who had at the time, a Russian-based biofeedback device. And he recognized the problem in my hand, and he said, "Look, let me have a go." And he put it on my hand. In 3 minutes flat, the circulation rushed through my hand. My fingertips became alive. Within 3 days, I had really good function. Within 3 weeks, I had perfect function. And within the same period, I was able to wean myself off the drugs, which I had tried to come off month after month, and it was impossible. Every time you reduce the volumes, you just get huge out. It's basically bleeding that you couldn't control. So the drugs were maintaining their own usage, basically. But within about 3 weeks of being treated, suddenly I had this amazing change, and I was off the drugs, and I've never gone back onto them. And what really spurred me on was I thought I'd found something that was really remarkable. And when I approached my traditional doctors, the allopathic system, they said, "No, we're not interested. We've got 400 patients on this particular drug." So they had no interest in resolving it. And that would make me angry. I really thought we should be able to help people. And I followed that energy. I followed that information. I studied that type of technology, and that led me eventually to NES Health. I was introduced to it by a practitioner in Australia. And I started using that technology and trained with NES in Europe, and then started to apply it in the clinic. And with a group of practitioners there, we started to see amazing changes. And I literally gave up engineering, retrained, and really applied everything. And I would have been the biggest skeptic, should we say, up to that point, until I'd seen it myself. And then I started looking into the science of it, and I started looking at the mathematics, and I started looking at the technology, and starting to look at what it was about. And when you follow the science of it, it's perfectly logical. It works, and it's real. And even the current medical system know it's real, because they use components of it within their own systems, but they refuse to acknowledge it themselves. Right. And that's the real science behind it. You know, have you ever wondered why Nicorette patches, you know, these things that they try and help people give up, cigarettes and things? Have you ever worked out why they ask you to put them in one particular place on your shoulder? Because it's an energetic pathway, and they know it. Right? Now, they don't want to tell you about it, because that means they're admitting that they know energetics and informational medicine works. But it's all around us when you start exploring the systems. Well, NES have created, and the brilliance of Harry Massey and the team and Peter Fraser's research, they've put together a set of technologies which are fantastic, and they're evolving all the time. And they have such amazing materials and professionals globally. We're talking professors and researchers and scientists looking at the technology, using it, applying it, and we're talking about using this on scale. There are thousands of practitioners globally now using the NES Total Wellness System, and after being in clinic for 6 years full time using the technology, I had no hesitation in joining the team and actually providing my experience along with everybody else's to really give people an opportunity to understand it and use it. And it was an absolute pleasure to catch up with you in Baltimore, where we spent 4 days together doing exactly that.
I'm telling you, really, really exciting. You know, I just want to say that being with NES for over 9 years and being a part of pioneering this informational medicine with the NES Health system, the training has been absolutely phenomenal. But when they got to the point where in Australia, where you were at the ZAP and y'all was beginning to use things in the videos, that was more inspiring to me, more making me feel more connected connected to everything that was really happening, because we couldn't do a lot of things here in the U.S. And so just having you over there and looking at those videos and seeing what y'all was doing, it was like, yeah, it's coming to the United States. We're getting this together. So that was very powerful that y'all was able to have 6 years of actually working with the whole total wellness system. So by the time that we really got it all together, it's like everybody's just really running on board now. And we've been doing this for a minute now. So yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and around the world, I mean, NES have put together some amazing tools to help spread the word, because the documentary that Harry put together, the Living Matrix movie, with the team of people there from Lynn McTaggart all the way through to people like James Oshman and Bruce Lipton and Peter Fraser himself.
Yeah.
The group of professors and experts there all talking about this type of technology, the information patterns and how the body uses it, really has globally given a tool for people to step in and have a look and go, well, actually, there's so much sense to this. The technology is now an extension of what we already know, and the building blocks. It's so straightforward now for a practitioner to get involved and add this to their current technologies. Whether you're dealing with the physical or the emotional, this technology runs alongside what you're doing and really allows you to not only give like a third party view. It's no longer your opinion alone. You're being supported by effectively hundreds of man hours of research and material within the software package, and then you have the information patterns imprinted into Infoceuticals, which are the remedies that target exactly where the disturbances are, and then you're able to open up the energy pathways with the miHealth device and help rebuild the body with really quality information within the nutrition process. It's such a perfect package to support practitioners of every nature.
Every nature. And that's why I'm so excited, because I definitely believe that more of the practitioners that's in the realm of alternative, complementary medicine, and you really want to embrace what you do along with the person believing and understanding and knowing that self and knowing that you're an energetic being and you know you deal with conscious and nature. Now you have a total wellness system that reveals to you the way your energy field has been working based on how you've been thinking and what you've been doing in your environment. So it kind of really takes the practitioner out and lets you see exactly what you have been doing. And so that's why I'm so excited, because again, I say it brings the invisible to the visible. And now with this science out here that's no longer called junk science of the DNA, it's been proven what it is. And so now we have a system to match that. And so what we're going to do is I'm just going to take a station break, and we're going to come back and let you just take us from a person coming in for a NES scan and take us through the process of what would happen, what they would see, and kind of like get them a little bit involved in what we reveal to them through the system. Because I like to say that Harry Massey, founder of NES Health, had a dream about a portable health system that would be able to read and work out how to make you better. You see, I had the same vision over 30 years ago. Being a Star Trekkie, I looked at the device that Bones used, and I saw that we would have one day a device in the palm of our hands that would give us instant self-care. And that's why I'm so excited about NES, because it's a part of the vision that I had with myself. And like I say, coming into NES, even before we knew of the miHealth device, and when that came in, I was like, oh my God, is this real? Yes, it's real. So when we come back, we're going to have Cyril take you into what it looks like to have a NES scan. Thank you for tuning in to Heart2Heart Healthy Living with Dr. K, Wanda Whitaker, Rachel Pope, and Cyril. So we'll take that station break. Jamal? Are you at your wit's end because there seems to be no solution to your healthcare problem? Is it okay for me to say to you that you can have peace of mind? Take back control of your health. Are you experiencing anxiety, arthritis, diabetes, cancer, fibromyalgia, high blood pressure, lupus, chronic fatigue syndrome, any fictitious disease. Whatever your symptoms or diagnosis are, there is a conscious solution to transform the cause of your pain. Not treat symptoms or mask it. No prescription medication, no over-the-counter drugs, no organs removed are required. Take back control of your health by the renewing of your mind. You can create wellness today. Contact Dr. K, 202-248-7749. Visit us on the web, www.celllife.com. Lord, you be liking that music. You be doing it, make you move and dance and be happy. You are tuned into Heart to Heart Healthy Living with Dr. K right here on the airways of Inner Light Radio. My guest, Cyril Bourke, NES Health Wellness Chief Wellness Officer. Wanda K. Whitaker, anchored in Spirit, Pacifica, California. Rachel Pope just joined us, and she's out in Temple, Maryland. I'm Dr. Karen Davis-Foulks, and so excited to have Cyril Bourke on the show with us. He's going to come back. He's going to share with us about the NES Health Total 4R Wellness Concept. Reassesses with the NES Provision. Rejuvenate with the NES miHealth. Reimprint with Infoceutical, and rebuild with NES Nutrition. Before I bring Cyril back on, Wanda, from what Cyril just shared with us, do you have any questions or comments for him?
You know, I just want to ask Cyril, because many people in the listening audience may want to know the same thing. What does NES stand for? Is it an acronym that stands for something specifically?
Yes, originally it was Nutra-Energetic Systems. Nutra-Energetic Systems, and it was based in the United Kingdom. And that's where Harry and Peter based themselves originally when they were developing the NES technologies. But obviously, Nutra-Energetic Systems is quite a mouthful. So the acronym NES, N-E-S, became the used term. And people work with that. They like it. They go for the NES scan. They take the NES drops. We're working with the NES Provision system. So yeah, there you go. That's the origins of NES.
Great. And the other question, Cyril, I'm really enjoying this conversation and enjoying NES, and I may have to sign up for NES myself, being a hypnotherapy practitioner. But I know that there are a lot of current advances in technology and digital health devices, which is this new thing now that may put physicians out of business. But how is NES keeping up with marketing their products to the same consumers without the budgets of some of these people?
Well, we don't really budget, or should I say, we don't really provide an awful lot of coverage in the media. We rely entirely on the quality of the practitioners and clients recommending it and recognizing that they've had distinct changes. So I guess we're in a lucky position where the quality of the practitioners, the quality of the results is so high that people aren't afraid to speak to their friends about it. You know, you could spend hundreds of millions on a product and you could push it into the marketplace, but it wouldn't necessarily have to work to get some traction. Well, NES works, and people recognize it, and because of that, people come to the practitioners. So, yeah, we've relied on quality of results.
And are most of the practitioners that you have signed up now with NES, are most of them alternative practitioners?
Well, it depends country to country. If you look into Europe, particularly in Germany and Holland, there's a very strong medical base as well, because they're general practitioners, MDs, and general practitioners. They're trained in both, should we say, the modern sciences of chemistry, but also in energy and herbalism and energy medicine and acupuncture, which is a really wonderful broadness that they have in some of the European companies. Here in America, it's a mixture of both alternative and, let's say, chiropractic and and some broader thinking MDs. And then in other countries like Australia and New Zealand, it's almost exclusively alternative practitioners, where the MDs themselves really aren't allowed within their licensing to do anything other than chemistry. So it all depends where in the world we're looking at it. It's recognised by by those that look at the science of it as a really practical and real event, and it's only people's licensing that maybe prevents them from maybe using it in places like Australia.
Great,
So,
thank you.
No problem.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you very much for that. Because when you do something for so long, and in the beginning we were explaining nutrient-energetic system, it is so nice to be able to say NES Health now. But you're right, there's a lot of listeners that does not really know the origin of NES Health. So thank you for those questions. I do appreciate them. Wow, Rachel, thanks for joining us. How you doing today?
I am doing great. Thank you. Thank you for having a special guest on today.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
I know you're going to enjoy the conversation because you have had a NET scan. We did the scan to reveal what was going on with you, to give you an idea of how you want to approach and create your total wellness plan. The way I work with individuals is you get to create your own personal prescription plan. We review, we tell, and you decide how you want to proceed forward. If you want to do it through chemicals, if you want to do it through herbology, if you want to continue with the NES wellness systems. You were able to have a NET scan, so I know you're going to sit back and listen to Cyril share with us. I'm so glad you could join us today. Thanks, Rachel.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wow. Oh, Cyril Bourke. So I know there's a lot of practitioners listening on the line. I do have some MDs, some NDs, chiropractors, different fields of modalities, and NES Health. They are tuning in because, like I say, I've been bringing this information forward. There's about 4 other NES practitioners in the Washington, D.C. area, and as you say, according to their modalities, that's how they use the system. I'm personally am a conscious self-healthcare educator. I totally believe in the power of the body to heal itself, and I use all means necessary to allow a person to go within and use their own being to correct themselves. And if you choose anything, let it be energy, let it be information, and let it be alternative to assist you with correcting your cellular malfunctions. And so that's how I vibrate to NES. Like I say, bringing the invisible to the visible, so you now can understand how powerful you are. So take us, a person coming in to you first time for NES Wellness, and you're going to take them through the provision scan and introduce them to what they may see and what will be revealed to them.
Absolutely. Well, let's have a look now. I guess the first thing is, like any practitioner, you're going to meet them, greet them, you're going to get them comfortable, and you're really going to ask, what is their goal? What are they actually wanting to achieve? That's the first really important step with recovery, is to work out what are you trying to get to, where are you heading for? So we'd work with the client for a few minutes to work out what their history is, what are their concerns, what are they really looking to achieve? And with that focus, we then provide them access to what we call a space resonance transducer, which is a big mouthful for really what is a very, very compact and very clever antenna. It looks like a computer mouse, and in a lot of cases we'll use the miHealth device as that device. It's an antenna that's capable of receiving information out of the body. So they'll put their hand on that device. It's non-invasive. They won't feel anything, but the computer will then do a matching process. It'll fire information in. The body will listen to that information and have natural responses. We'll then collate that information. The computer, the Provision software, will literally bring it all together in a matching process, and based on Peter's 30 years of research, it creates a set of information that give us the strength of the information against priorities and distortions. And it's brought into categories. So the first category that comes up on the screen will be a composite of the energy that's flowing around the body under meridians and under organs and under the brain holograms. And we're able to see should we say, composite information, where a targeted point gives us what we call an energetic rejuvenator. And the miHealth device is able to provide the information pattern that's been found to be distorted and provide it back into the body, either off body. And when I say off body, I mean literally you don't even need to touch the client. There is a tiny, tiny electromagnetic impulse out of the device. It's thousands of times less than your own mobile phone. But because the information is very precise, your body field is actually very receptive to it. And we're able to offer that information to the body. The client often feels it in some manner or senses changes in stress. In fact, you yourself witnessed a testimonial in Baltimore from a gentleman who not only is a chiropractor, but he's an attorney of law. And he recounted a situation a couple of years ago where we were doing a demonstration where he actually said he really didn't believe us. He said, how can this be? And I actually offered him the device and said, okay, I would like you to treat me. And I turned it on and he did exactly what I asked him to do. I put it in his hand and he came around my body and I asked him to literally move it in a pattern and see if he could find anywhere in the air where the device felt like its gravity had changed, if it felt like it was maybe pulling through candy floss almost in the air. And that gentleman, who literally is an attorney of law and a doctor of chiropractic, and telling me in front of a group that really he doesn't see how it works, he burst into tears at the shock that he had actually found exactly what we were saying, and he was, and that proved to us totally that it's real and working. Now we're able to provide the information on the body or off the body. On the body, it's drawn across the body by this handheld device, and it opens up the pathways. Literally, energy rushes into these areas which are very precise based on that person's requirements of the scan. And that opens everything up, and then we're able to move along the scan to another page, which we talk about as information. And the information itself is actually related to Infoceutical, which are liquid remedies which have been imprinted in a chamber, basically, that provides photonic streams and electromagnetic streams in a very special combination based on Peter's 30 years of work. And we're able to use the water as a carrier for it, and then the person can take the most suitable remedies based on their scan here and now, and drip feed their body with that information to help settle the body field when they go home and in the environment that's disturbing their field. Which means we're getting to the layers that support chemistry and physical and biological change, where we're getting to the underlying support systems. And within those categories of information that come up on the screen, which the client can literally sit with the practitioner and look at, we see the overall polarity of the body, the supercharges to, the spurious energies that come off, let's say, air conditioning and air travel and things of this nature. And we can look at axes of energy, where the phase relationship of the vertical axis and the polar axis and the equatorial axis of the planet are actually being disturbed. These are what we call geopathic stresses, and they're very tangible. The mathematics and the calculations, they're actually available both in the two books that are probably most relevant for your clients and listeners, is Decoding the Human Body Field by Peter Fraser, Decoding the Human Body Field, and the other one is Energy and Information in Nature. Both of those, I'm sure, would really help them understand the mathematics and science behind it, and make it a tangible thing for them. Within those structures, we've got embryonic stages, the growth stages of cellular activity, and they're all triggered by information patterns. And Peter was able to dissect down to 16 what we call macro systems. So a microsystem is something that's extremely tiny and deals with one singular line of information. Well, Peter said, why try to provide tens of thousands of possible information patterns when you could place them in groups? And that's what he did. And he found 16 groups, and he called them energetic drivers. Now that means that we can encompass a large number of problems within one group. And we might say, for example, the lung. We might see big distortion related to the lung. And it's not just the lung, but all the information patterns that support it, oxygen transfer, nutrient transfer, all these things that occur in the gas transfers, etc. And the brain dealing with emotions as well that are linked in with it. And some of them will be absolutely perfect for the client, and the body will only take on the information that it needs. Those patterns that match perfectly, the body literally doesn't have a differential, and it doesn't need to take them on. So there's no toxin involved. It's purely information correction, and the body only takes what it wants. So all these drivers, the 16 drivers, we can look down and look at them and say, okay, how can we best energize and start the cleaning systems of the body? And as an adult, we still need all of those embryonic stages functioning in the right manner within our developed physical body. Then the next range of Infoceuticals that we look at and decide what we're going to work with are what we call the energetic integrators. Now they take the patterns of energy that travel from one place to another and reconnect. And this is really important, particularly when you look at what happened to me. We provided energy to one area of my hand, and then dramatically over the next few weeks and days, my digestive tract entirely changed. And that was the real nail that hit me. I realized that it wasn't just a physical event in my hand. I had been involved in energy opening up across my entire body. And that's what started my journey into researching it as a scientist and an engineer, and training as a practitioner, and actually changing people's lives and giving them opportunity for something that has been hidden in the modern world. We are reminding ourselves of technologies that I believe were here well before this modern society, and we're now let's say finding them again. And with Peter's research, it's totally tangible and available for people. So the integrators are another range of Infoceuticals that we look at with the NES, and we provide the most suitable ones to open up energetic pathways. And that obviously supports a great functional event. And for me, my fingers changed, but my digestive tract totally reinvented itself, which was a fantastic step for me. Now, from there, we walk into other areas. We have what we call a family of terrains, which look at the disturbances caused by pathogens in certain tissue groups. There are families of tissues that get involved with that, and we're able to activate really, really distinct healing processes and really get the body to put time aside with the right information to eject the damage and distortions caused in those areas. The next family of them, because Peter was a genius, really, because he was able to recognize and find where these problems were occurring and how they were disturbing the underlying systems. The next family were the energetic stars, and they were complex networks of information that were involved in the body's, let's say, broader healing events. So they're used to support the activation processes that come with the terrains. And working through that, the patient really can kickstart repair, target areas, bring energy to the body, and support those drainage processes in a really comfortable manner without providing any toxic materials whatsoever. And it obviously supports all of the biological and physical functions because it's the underlying information that the body uses to activate the cellular and physical world. Now, about 4 years ago, Peter stumbled across what is probably his most brilliant area, where he was able to isolate the information holograms of the brain and make use of them within the Provision system. So we're literally looking at 4 areas of the brain and the interwoven emotions that occur, and they're seen in a physical manner. And doctors around the world have been looking at CTs and building patterns of information related to how damage in the brain and distortions in energy cause dis-ease in function, and people suffer a real health decline based on an emotional event, and particularly if it fits certain parameters. These are things like if it's a shock that they weren't expecting, if it becomes dramatic, if it isolates them from their family, things of this nature. They're the types of combinations that can cause ongoing dis-ease in the body and eventually long-term illness. Well, Peter was able to see the energetic disturbances within these areas of the brain. He was able to track them. We were able to coordinate it with the software. We can see it in seconds. Literally, client can put their hand on the system. The practitioner can talk about their targets, what are they looking to see, and then we can run the scan. And in 20 seconds or less, we can be looking at the emotional fields and really unraveling the type of damage that they look like they're doing to themselves based on fears and distress. And it's just a remarkable area to be working in. And to have the remedies of the Infoceuticals to remove these and support the recovery of both the mind and the tissue, it's just fantastic. And these are loaded into the ER range, which are the Infoceutical technologies that the miHealth device uses. So the combination is just fantastic. Really, really happy.
Wow. You did that. Excellent. I've been trying to do that for 9 years. I love the way you did that. Thank you so very much, voice detail. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to Wanda, I'm pretty sure you might have a question that Cyril can expand on with the brain holograms, because you are a hypnotherapist. So how would that work in your practice?
Oh, I think it would definitely be supportive, especially what you said earlier about the new discoveries in DNA and junk DNA and what they're finding out now about the prefrontal cortex and how that is somehow connected with the so-called junk DNA, and how much we're not using that prefrontal cortex, but through meditation, scientists have found out, researchers have found out that this area lights up. Depending on the particular lobe, but definitely the prefrontal cortex. And I really think that the mind scans are something that will support what hypnotherapy does, and that's accessing the subconscious mind. And again, it's about the field at the quantum level, what's happening that is causing the disturbance. So if you understand energy, I would definitely suggest that people study energy. But what I am hearing about what NES has to offer will definitely be supportive of my work and what I'm doing with my clients.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a commercial break, and I'm going to come back and let Cyril in a breather, and then I would like for you to share with us, if you can, about a situation where you help someone with the emotions involved with the NES Health. Is it time for a new approach to your health care? Are you ready to leave the dark ages of disease care management and pharmaceuticals? If your answer is yes, get ready to relearn, rethink, and rewrite your personal healthcare prescription plan with Dr. K. She is a certified lenthologist and NES healthcare provider, sharing the new science of information as medicine and cellular ecology. Did you know that the field of epigenetics states that you are more than just your genes, and those genes do not control your biology? Yes, that's correct. Schedule a Skype, phone, or office visit with Dr. K and get on board the friendship train to healthcare freedom. 202-248-7749. That's 202-248-7749. Visit us on the web, forselllife.com. The number 4, the words sell, CELLLIFE.com. That's right, family. Step up to total wellness and schedule your wellness healthcare session with me. Thanks to the Heart2Heart Healthy Living with Dr. Wanda Whitaker, our guest, Cyril Bourke, Rachel Pope. I want to thank everyone that came out to support the premiere screening of Suicide, the movie by Keedy Awad in Washington, D.C. this weekend. It was absolutely fantastic. From the talk he did on what do superheroes eat, to your body, to actually viewing the movie Suicide, when food is so absolutely deliciously decadent that it is literally to die for. That is suicide, and that's how we take care of our physical body, by giving it the nutrition that it needs. And so we're so thankful for that movie and all the supporting people, Mama Ayo, the Kendi, Dr. Yu, Raquel's Raw Cuisine, over Dynamic Wellness. We want to thank you all for your support in the community, for coming out. And yes, it was overwhelming. And Chef Keedy will be back on the first week in August. And we will have another screening of that movie, conversation with Chef Keedy, and tasting of some really live, super living foods. And we're so thankful to have that opportunity. Internet Light Radio for sponsoring it, the Washington Informer newspaper. We're thankful for them for keeping the frontier information out in the community. Inner Light Radio and the Washington Informer newspaper in Washington, D.C. We're so thankful for them. I want y'all to know that this week on Heart2Heart Healthy Living, you heard Cyril talked about him, James L. Oshman, Ph.D., president of Nature's Own Research Association, a Ph.D. in biological science, B.S. in biophysics, and author of Energy Medicine, the scientific basis in energy medicine and therapeutics and human performance, will be our guest on Heart2Heart Healthy Living. He's coming to Washington, D.C. We're bringing him back in August to talk to the community about smart meter, wellness, energy, and how we find energetic being. And so we're so thankful for the opportunity to bring cutting edge information to allow you can truly take care of yourself. Cyril, once again, welcome to Heart2Heart Healthy Living. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, it's an absolute pleasure. Very, very delighted. In fact, something to be aware of is James Oshman. He'll be also speaking in New York, so it's only just up the road from your location there in DC. He'll be speaking there in February 19th through to the 21st. He's at the Integrative Healthcare Symposium. So anybody that wants to see him and hear him live, it's an excellent opportunity. It's in Midtown. In New York, at the Hilton, New York Hilton.
Thank you for sharing that so much. Before I let you share a story, and the lines are open for anyone that wish to call in, you can call in at 310-928-7733. You can Facebook Brother Jamal, and you can also email your questions or comments to innerlightradio@yahoo.com. innerlightradio@yahoo.com. I'm so excited that Cyril is here, but also in the coming weeks we'll be having Sarah Turner. She's going to be on, and Harry Massey will be coming on, and we're going to have some NES practitioners that have been involved with NES over the years. They're going to be coming on, and we just want to be sharing this information, and we welcome all the practitioners to come on board this friendship train. So once again, Cyril, share with us.
Certainly, yeah. In fact, James Oshman, he has actually his own miHealth device, the NES miHealth, and he's conducting his own tests and, doing his own research as well, which is wonderful. But yes, NES has done research, and in fact, they did a study in Europe. It was close to 300 participants, and in the first round, the initial first round, they had over an 88% benefit to all clients, and the figures only got stronger and stronger with the second and third round of treatment, which is just fantastic to see a device in the hands of, as I say, it was almost 300 practitioners and many hundreds of case studies, which was just wonderful. So it's out there, it's available for people to work with. Yes, you ask about the mind. Where have we seen sort of changes in the mind? Well, certainly combining it with hypnotherapy would be a very, very useful tool, because we can see where the blockages are within the scan in seconds. You could apply apply an Infoceutical to support the clearing of those blockages, and then use hypnotherapy to really work in and go through their process. So it can be supportive to many, many different types of work. I remember one in particular which we turned into a case study and is available for those that want to go into training and use the NES system. It's available in our Quantum Health library of information, because we have so much information being made available to practitioners that we have libraries of it online of all sorts of different topics. So I'll tell you briefly about this one. This was a young lady who had a very restrictive religion, a very difficult family life, an arranged marriage, and it was a very restrictive and difficult time for her. And she was trying to live in a modern world, and at the same time, there was conflict within herself as to her direction. And her skin came out in the most horrendous swelling and pustules, and it was a defense mechanism. She was literally trying to push away anybody who would be attracted to her, because she had fears of bringing in people to her life that her family might not approve of and things of this nature. And her brain was literally defending her from this moral dilemma, so to speak. But eventually she found a partner who she that fitted all the profiles, etc., and was her heartfelt choice. But her body had locked itself into this appalling degeneration, and it was not just on the skin. It was causing damage to her organs. It was causing damage from a digestive point of view. She was sensitive in an allergic style reaction to almost anything she ate. And she was in a lot of pain and discomfort. The body had really put this thickening of the skin and barriers all the way up. And we did a webinar about it, talking with an expert in epigenetics to look at what was happening and how the NES system had resolved it using the mind screens and looking into the brain holograms and applying NES technology. Now, over the period of treatment, we were able to resolve blockage after blockage and escalate the energies within the subsystems, and the body was able to reset the shock and conflicts that she was having. And literally on her wedding day, which is the target for her, she was the most just beautiful being, and her whole body had been cleansed of the energy and the problems that had occurred in the previous, literally almost a decade. And the photos of those are in the case studies and the information about it. So anybody that wants to look at becoming a NES practitioner, the process is clear and straightforward and deliberate, and it's really accessible for all people to look at and bring into their lives and their practices, whether they're combining it with another system or their own starting point with NES. Now,
yeah.
Now what? Yeah, I mean, you've just sat through the 4-day to should we say enhance your experiences of it. Are you going to join us at the retreats? I hope we do get to see you, because we've just done one in Australia, didn't we? And there's another one in Mexico. And what we're doing is bringing the whole practitioner sense to a new level. Practitioners are not just doing education and online education and materials, but we're providing NES as a family, a whole new way of looking after each other as well as our clients. This is something we've really stepped into this year.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that. With the shift from just having the conversation or the technology seminars, and we're doing these wellness type seminars. So I'm really putting it on my schedule to come to Mexico.
Excellent, excellent.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, and if anybody wants to know more about what actually happens within NES, I mean, obviously we have the NES Health website, and it literally is neshealth.com, which is nice and simple. And there you'll see information about the technologies and the trainings that are available around the country. We're heading down to Texas, and we're going to do some trainings there. We've just done Baltimore, and we'll be doing more on the East Coast and more on the West Coast in California, giving as many people an opportunity to take part, learn about the technology, use it, and bring it to the public.
Yes, that's what we're doing. Cyril, we're really up on the hour, and I cannot believe how fast this time has gone. I want to thank you so much for being here and breaking down the NES Total Wellness System. Like Harry Massey said, how can we help someone heal if he's too sick to get out of bed? That's what this system is all about.
That's exactly right. And with this system, you can bring it to them. They can literally open a laptop, put their hand on it, and then open the world of energy and information and treat on the spot and see changes on the spot. That's what it's about.
Thank you so very much for joining us. Thank you, Wanda. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you all, community, for tuning in. And yes, I'm available. You can start ringing the phone and we can share about the total system. You can schedule your Wellness Nest exam with me. I turned 57 years old July the 15th, an unheard about price for a Nest Total Wellness scan, $57. Give me a call so I can introduce you to this powerful system of self-care. Thank you for tuning into Heart2Heart Healthy Living. We look forward to you tuning in next week. Thank you, Cyril. Thank you, Wanda. Thank you, Rachel. Come get on board our friendship trip. Wow, family community, we have just had a wonderful time on Heart2Heart Healthy Living with Dr. K. Thank you, Wanda K. Whitaker, for joining me. Thank you for tuning in. Please share Heart2Heart Healthy Living with all your family and friends, because health starts with being happy, and those who are happy are much healthier. That's every Tuesday, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, and 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the airways of Inner Light Radio. Come join Dr. K and friends. We are on this friendship train, and we are moving down the track from disease care to conscious self-help care. Don't you want to come aboard our friendship train? Remember, that's every Tuesday, 3 p.m. Pacific Time, 5 p.m. Central Time, and 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are here raising the vibration and singing the song. Happy days are here again. So tune back in next week. And thank you so very much for tuning in to Heart2Heart Healthy Living and sharing this broadcast with a friend.